Good morning, world. Let me introduce you to my flow. She says hello before she go right from your fucking door. Don't need the pass though. Just being a little straight to jail. At your words, man. I got a Mr. Rhyme flow. Talking slice it, cut it, dice it, do it in a fan. First she is on juggernaut. Sure she not a man. We stay corrected, keep it hectic. Make sure you respect it. I take your mic and check it. Let's just say I got the bang it down. So yeah, swimming in the broken water. Don't take no shit. Is how I'm gonna raise my daughter. Water, change to change the game with just my name. Oh no, hip hop will never be the same. You slept on me because you saw a damn thing. Rain is done, and yes, I am to blame. Change the game with just my name. Oh no, hip hop will never be the same. I will unwind when I go and Jesus. Oh, you're a anemic verse. He made your promise first. I pull a better hearse. Your wordplay is the worst. I keep that 9-11 chilling in the clutch first. Just in case I had to speak on this biscuit train first. Stay on adjectives. We already know it. I had to run. Still from my brain and wrote it. Don't ask me if I wrote it. You know I really did. So that your verses sound like they were swinging by your kids. And I did. Okay, I had to own it. I'm like a man. Kill the beat. That's just how break it down. The mayday, I think that happened. I know you don't condone it. Bloodshed is everywhere. It's like I heard a women on it. To change the game with just my name. Oh no, hip hop will never be the same. You slept on me because you saw a damn thing. Rain is done, and yes, I am to blame. Came to change the game with just my name. Oh no, hip hop will never be the same. I will unwind when I go and Jesus. The motives of the beast, at least you see it's coming. You still in shock, I know you can't believe that it's a woman. Yeah, it took you like this, so with your ass up like Chris, the word they never miss. Just to make calm down. I think of the lady like, and let you be justified. The way you come on the mic increases my appetite. Angry outside of fight, it's terrifying, right? Increases your heart rate, it also just increase your life. Bang, the building down, rip, on, off, we saw got caught in. You heard me, think that's so. They should change the game with just one name. Oh no, hip hop will never be the same. You slept on me because you saw a damn thing. Rain is done, and yes, I am to blame. Came to change the game with just one name. Oh no, hip hop will never be the same. I will unwind when I go and be alone. Yeah, I come in. Yeah, I come in. That's right, I come in. That's right, I come in. That's how we do it, Virginia. We push that hell away, that till we flip that bacon finger. Oh, you ain't remember the ball and I agenda. Out of town, I see the taxes. Really get it. You were just listening to the tunes of Kula Von Seal. I'm gonna let you listen to a little Tisha sang. You listened to her last night, but we're gonna listen to a little bit more tunes before we get started at 8:30. I wanna be close to you. I wanna break my heart. Baby, it hurts so bad. Things just be right. I wanna be close to you. So baby, let me know. Will you hold me close? Or will you let me go? this last long.
So some listening to.
We'll see she is, yeah.
Trust you, I gave you my heart. But then I saw the look in your eyes when you left me and said goodbye. I never had a chance to even question why. But now that it's over, I can't believe that it's over. No, I never had a chance to make it right. If I made you realize, I see where we belong. Wish it all was a little clearer. This truth is a love right now. I wanna be close to you. I want you in my life. But baby, it hurts so bad when things just ain't right. I wanna be close to you. So baby, let me know. Will you hold me close or will you let me go? See, I need you in my life.
Yeah.
I wanna carry your kids and be your wife. See, love ain't easy. We can't let it go. Don't wanna give up on love. No, 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 no. I see where I belong. See how this truth is a love like that. Truth is a love like
Hey, this is my part. Hey. Yes. Shout out. I see Frank Mosley out there, Skyport Records CEO. Go to the page and check him out. Yes. You were just listening to the sounds of Tisha Lassane featuring T-Soul. We're going to get started in a little bit. I know I got my girl, Miss Capri, backstage waiting to come out and give it to you. Oh, yes. Tisha, baby, that was nothing but the truth. We're going to take a little twist now, and we're going to put you in a little rap, hip-hop, little drowning music. You're going to drown to the sounds of Jay Archer.
Look, if I called you with my last breath, would you fall through? Need no faith, no bridges to cross through. To burn away what was pain that was all you, all my fault. There was ours too. Just in the wave, I'll way back like tides do. I couldn't fall cause I never got tired of you. I'm holding on, but my arms getting tired too. I'm saying bye to you. We got to buy you. Late nights on the cruise in the bottom, slide on the floors and we jump on the ride. Make you call if you going for survive. Yeah, you try to go, I'ma watch you. Meditating, designated where we drive. Better thinking than operating on my truth. Drunk mind, sober tongue when I found you. My stream of consciousness could kill me if I drowned
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lillie Mae, aka who? Brown Mermaid, that is. Yeah. So tonight is a special edition. You will never, ever catch all things authentic on a Wednesday night. Why? Because I should be watching Tyler Perry's The Sisters at 9 o'clock. But, my girl Capri is here with me. Ow, maybe I need to start rapping since everybody want to rap. Maybe I need to start rapping. My girl Capri is here with me and my boy D. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to this. I know my limitations. But I'm gonna bring Capri in a little while. But ladies and gentlemen, housekeeping. First and foremost, if this is your first time rocking with me on a live of any form, please wave in the comments. But if you've been rocking with me on these lives, drop a 100, right? Drop a 100. Second rule of housekeeping, share the live, invite your friends. If something is on your spirit, you speak, okay? Now, I'm not going to say God is good all the time and all the time God is good because we might get a little lit tonight. But I just want to get the housekeeping out the way. And also, follow Sanai's Consulting Express on Instagram for updates and breaking news. It's always something going on. I'm going to try to kind of keep you abreast of what's going on in the world. And I'm not talking about global. I'm not talking about with the president. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about in our world, meaning the 21st century living trends. So, like I said, earlier you were listening to the tunes of Kula Von Sills. Shout out to Kula, even if he's not watching right now. Shout out to you. Your music is so dope. Tisha Lassane, my girl, my neo soul baby. Lord, I love her. And Jay Archer, new up and coming artist out of Coney Island, New York. All righty. So now I am getting ready to bring to you the woman of the hour. And Miss Capri is a very interesting young lady. So we met in an unorthodox way. But the reality is that tonight, we are bringing some realness to you. And the realness that we're bringing to you is all about value and desire. And so the interesting thing is you probably gonna feel some type of way when we actually say what we saying to you. But what we gonna say to you tonight is simply this. Do you want sexual healing or do you want that endless love? Because I'm just saying, which one you want? You want sexual healing or you want that endless love? And so without further ado, I introduce to you Miss Capri. Hi.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Look, Dale doesn't know. We're not bringing him in yet. We're not gonna let him talk on our platform tonight because he's a man. We don't know what he's gonna say. But Capri, introduce yourself to everybody, and then we can get moving.
Hey, everybody. I am Miss Capri. I am a queen of all trades. I definitely have dabbled in a few things. I am an artist as far as R&B, but I also rap as well. I'm also a life skills coach as well. And I have a business with my mother, Valerie McAllister, and Kia Reed. And it's called Generational Words LLC. And so we've been doing that for a few years, more so just trying to bridge the gap with a lot of what's missing in our community. But that's just a brief description. That's just a little about me.
Absolutely. Well, look, I'm so glad to have you tonight. So let's just dive right in. We are a few minutes early, but I'd rather be early than be late, just in case we get really, really lit and want to keep it moving. So, Capri.
Yes, ma'am.
The question came up. Do you want to be valued or do you want to be desired? What is your choice?
Well, honestly, if I can be 100% transparent, which I would rather be, I don't know how to be anything other than that. But my opinion of that is more so if you look in the description or definition of what value is, then it kind of gives a little insight in that aspect. But as far as the way that I looked at it previously when I was younger, I'm about to be 35, and then the way that I look at it now,
85 babies.
yes, ma'am. But I think that, in my opinion, I would rather be valued, and the reason that I feel that way is because when I was in, my 20s and some in teens and late 20s as well, I thought that I wanted to be desired, and I had the way that my view was on life was a lot different than it is now. I had to go through a lot to get to where I am as a woman today, where as back then, I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew what I wanted, and I, had all these goals, and I approached men with that same attitude, but the attitude came off as you're not needed. You know what I mean? You're wanted. And so when I gave that off, initially I felt like, okay, well, I have a hands up in the situation because, I'm running the show and I'm making the rules. But it ended up making me look in the mirror at myself over time, because at that point, I started to see that these men didn't value me. It was more so of an infatuation with what they
desired.
They thought that I was, right, of what they desired.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a totally different state of mind that I have today in regards to it.
So when you get that feeling, you don't want sexual healing, you want endless love.
Right, because if you have endless love, the sexual healing is going to come. It's going to be hand in hand, but you got to be in the right place.
Okay. So Capri, I feel like somebody knocking on the door. I don't know if Miss J is knocking on the door, but I'm feeling like somebody knocking on the door. Hold on. It is somebody knocking on the door. Miss J, what's up? So, I don't know. Is she frozen? Are you frozen?
Oh, where I go?
There you are. Okay. All right. So, Miss J, introduce yourself to the crowd. Because, we got a crowd doing this thing. She keep getting froze.
Hi.
So,
hey, family. Hello.
Hi, Capri.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing? So, Jay,
how you doing?
Welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is what I want to know from you. Do you want to be valued or desired?
Valued. Have to be valued.
Two for value. Why is it that you want to be valued?
I'm going to tell you why. You know why? Because, see, the thing is, like, desire consumes you. It eats you up. It ain't no good.
Oh, okay. Oh, so okay, let me get this straight. So you don't want people to pay you $100 for a little nookie every now and then. That's what you saying. You don't want to be desired like that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because I know some people that think that being valued doesn't matter. They like being desired. But in my opinion, desire is temporary.
Girl, I value a Snicker bar. It ain't no good for my midsection.
You don't value the Snicker bar. You desire the Snicker bar.
I desire the Snicker bar. Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
But you value them collard greens.
You see?
All right. Now, I'm going to say this. I value some pork chitterlings. I do value pork chitterlings. I definitely value me some pork chitterlings. But seriously, guys. So, I asked the male. I asked the male, did he want to be desired or did he want to be valued? However, I put a spin on it for him. And what I said to him was, do you want your daughter to be valued or desired?
Wow.
And his whole
Right.
response changed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I said, and I'll give you an opportunity to speak, but I'm going to pick on you because it's 3-1. 3 strikes, you're out. So what I said to him was that you desire these women, but do you want men to desire your daughter when you have a daughter the way you desire these women? And he was like, oh no, I want her to be valued. Okay, so let's
Right.
make some adjustments. And it's so interesting to me that so many gentlemen will get fighting mad if their mother is called a bitch or if their daughter is called a bitch, but they call women bitches every day, right?
Yeah.
So you guys
Right.
know
Right.
I want to be valued. I will be valued. But I think your decision on whether you want to be valued or desired is contingent upon what you were taught.
Yep.
I do know that Miss Capri comes from a place, an upbringing where there was nothing but respect for herself being taught in that house.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I know the same for
Absolutely.
you because you are a part of that lineage, right?
Absolutely.
I can say the
Absolutely.
same thing for Dale here. You know, I really feel like, you know, he has talked plenty of times about how he was brought up and what he was brought up to believe. And so I think that tonight, what we want you guys to understand is simply this. You can want to be desired. People desire the Beyoncés, the Kardashians, the Nickys, the Cardis, the Meg the Stallions, all of those entities. But do you guys realize that when they get in the privacy of their own home and they wipe all their stuff off their face, have you ever seen them in their natural element?
Right. Not
That's
at all.
right. Right.
The things we desire will often fade away, and we don't think about that.
Right.
We don't think about that. Value requires meaning. Value is a belief or a philosophy. So philosophy is everlasting. Philosophy is ever changing, but it's always gonna be philosophy.
Right.
Desires will change from one moment to the next. Because one moment that desire is 36, 24, 36. And in 3 years after them 3 kids, that desire might be 42, 42, 48. So I want you guys to understand. And I'm not just talking to my guys, but I'm talking to my ladies, because some of our desires have kept us in relationships too long. Oh, am I touching some nerves? Because see, I can talk to myself.
Mm-hmm.
My desires have kept
Right.
me in relationships that I needed to step away from. My desires have caused me to step away from the creator and worship an idol man. And that's all to it. So what I think we need to understand tonight is that for all of us, woman or man, our desires of the flesh, from the beginning of time, we've been susceptible to what? Sin, right? So when I think about morals and values, I think about appropriateness. And when I think about desires, I think about sin.
But my question is, so what do you do when that woman or that man were not taught those morals or values?
Ooh.
And then when they're not taught those things, of course, they're acting off of the things that they were raised to believe or see, or not really understanding what was really going on. So when that happens, because listen, I've been that exact person. You know, I was the difference is I was taught morals and values, just like you said. But my problem was I was hard-headed and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I wanted to experience what I wanted to experience and learn on my own and be grown and be in whoever space that I wanted to be, not really knowing what I was exposing myself to short and long term. And that even goes down to trickling to
But there's nothing, see,
and I got
Talia.
3 girls. So
Pardon me, Talia, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just having to go on your journey. You gotta come to a point where you know, like desire is in the world. You understand what I'm saying? But like when you on a spiritual level, you know what value is. That's what it is. It's like anything that you value, you hold so dear. That's why when you ask that gentleman, would you want your daughter to be valued or desired? It changed because he values her. She's priceless. He holds her dear. There's never gonna be another one of that. You understand what I'm saying? And when we desire, especially when we we desire a man, or we desire this relationship, and we desire him to tell us that we're beautiful every day, or that, you know, like he ain't never gonna let us go. That's just not what it is, because he's not there yet, because he's in the world. It's not, that's what we want. But when we come closer to God and we value ourselves, value is gonna come to you regardless. Absolutely. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So
it comes to you regardless.
So as a man, what do you do when you expose yourself to the things that compromise your values? Because I think we as girls, and I'm gonna say girls because I'm gonna take us back to being little kids, we taught to respect ourselves. See, my great aunt told me, when you go off to college, keep your drawers up and your coattail down. But I'm thinking to myself, but y'all tell the boys, oh, go out there and get all the pussy you can. So what do you do when you expose yourself to the things which compromise your values? Because if we go out there and get all the we can, we hoes, but y'all men. So, but what do you do? What do you do about that?
I know, like me, I ever since I was young, I don't act like that. I'm not into that sleeping with a bunch of women.
Okay.
If I'm involved with a woman, if I have sexual intercourse, like we in a relationship and we serious.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I know, like when I was a teenager growing up, I know my dad. So like, okay, when I'm in a relationship, like I'm all about the woman I'm involved with. Okay. So I know my dad, he be getting on me, he be like, you know, you're young. You don't need to be that serious. Okay. So when I'm away from my girlfriend and I'm around, like I know my dad will take me different places and I see other women who are beautiful. He's like, yeah, you know, go ahead, try to talk to that girl. You know, but still like
daddy be trying to get you shot.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, go ahead and talk to that girl. You know, you're not married, you know, you 16, 17. But like for me, like no, like I'm involved with this woman I'm with and I don't feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I've always been that way.
So what I hear you saying is that even if you're exposed to a situation where you could potentially compromise what you believe, you have self-control and restraint.
Yeah, I have self-control. I mean, because there've been girls, although it's funny because like when I'm single, no female ain't trying to get at me.
You always desire what's taken.
Yeah, when I'm single, when I'm involved with somebody, it'd be like women coming at me from the wolf, you know, like crazy. And it's like women I didn't know that was into me coming after me. Well, but then when they approach me and trying to, you know, seduce me, whatever that woman I'm involved with, I just shut it down. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to jeopardize my relationship.
All right, so let me address a comment that we have from Kia Reed. Kia Reed said, this is so important because we pursue purpose and make decisions based on what or who we value and or desire. Therefore, from our core, we structure our entire lives based on what value and or desire. We have to value ourselves and set a standard of being valued by others. I agree tremendously. Kia, thank you so much. I agree because I think that we do, you know, we go out here and won't even have a mortgage on the house, but we'll get a $700 to $800 car note. Can you sleep in that car? Why? Like this is my thing. Why am I going to pay more for something that depreciates when it leaves the lot than I pay for the place where I gotta lay my head? What sense does that make? Right? So let's apply that to relationships. Now, and see, I'm gonna step on my own toes because I was told a couple of weeks ago you need to date within your tax bracket. Yeah. My colleague told me that. Lillie,
Okay.
you start dating within your tax bracket. And this was a white man. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so just put a limit on you. Just put a limit on what you want, what you can have.
But let me give you a backstory.
Because of the money you make. Basically, that's what you're telling me.
The backstory is that this colleague is definitely a confidant. And he's a confidant because he can look beyond the surface and truly pick one apart. So some of the things that I probably would go off if somebody like Donald Trump said it to me, when my colleague said that to me, y'all, I kid you not, I was just like this. And y'all know I like to talk. I was like this.
Stuck.
Because for once, I understood what he was saying. And even though the way he said it sounded rude, basically what he was saying to me is, Lillie, I know what you like. Because I tell him all the time. I'm like, you know, I like me a hood so bad, I ain't lying, baby. But that's not good for me. Unless they refined, of course. If they refined, we can do some things.
Right.
But the reality is that for once, I didn't take offense because what I value that opinion of.
Right.
Although I didn't desire that opinion, I valued it. And because I valued it, it's here, it's embedded. That's the difference between value and desire. I could have cussed him out.
Yeah.
Right? I could have cussed him out because that wasn't a desired response. I didn't want to hear that from him. But I valued what he said.
Right.
So, you know, but ladies, what about what Jay, because Capri asked the question, Jay, what about you? What do you do when you expose yourself to those things which compromise your value?
You were talking to me or Jay?
To Jay.
To be honest with you, if it compromises my values, I gotta sit back and pray on it. Everything is different for me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very hot tempered. I can be, you know, but like now what I'm understanding is humility, because sometimes it takes so much more energy to curse somebody out or to go off about something or just to be disappointed about it. My thing is like, if there's nothing I can't do about it, I gotta go and pray on it, because God gonna show me what to do. If it's not for me, it's gonna pass me by. And if it's for me, if it has a purpose for me, it's gonna work out in my favor. You know?
Absolutely.
So if it
absolutely,
it's like, if it questions my value 9 times out of 10, I got to let it go. But that's where that part of, do I desire this or do I value this? Like, do I value this enough to let it go? I mean, do I desire it enough? Mm-hmm. Do I want it enough? You understand what I'm saying? Is it something that I can value after a while? Or is it just a desire for me? Is this just a seasonal thing?
At that moment.
Is it going to change me? Is it going to go against what I truly believe in down the line? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, all I can say is I got to pray on it. I'll come back to it. Even if somebody makes me mad, like if it's a friend, if it's a co-worker, you know, like I'll get really quiet and they'll be like, Jamie, what's wrong? And I'll be like, I don't agree with you, but it's nothing I can do about that. Let me think about it. I'll come back. I'll give you some feedback, but it's going to be later. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to say the wrong thing, because sometimes everything is perception.
Absolutely.
Everything is perception.
Let's put attack in that. Let's put attack in that. Because I want to switch over. And I really want to talk about the definition of desire, because we need to go back and assess the fact that a desire is a want. A desire is a strong feeling of want. It's wanting and wishing for something, right? And a lot of times when we want and wish for something, it's something that we really don't need. Because if it's really for you, you're going to have it. But if you're wishing and wanting something, it's probably something. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, I want a big old booty. I want a big old booty. I want a BBL. But guess what? It's not for me. It's not for me. Because if it were for me, I would have had it. Because I had saved my money to go get my BBL. I ain't lying. But it wasn't for me. When that doctor told me, I'm sorry, that is one of the #1 surgeries that will kill women of color. And yes, I'm saying it publicly. Because if y'all think back to it, K. Michelle is still struggling right now. It's not meant for us. So let me just put that out there. Shout out to Dr. Gregory Lynham of Richmond Surgical Arts for being truthful with me. Straight up. Because I was going to give me a big old booty. Y'all know I got these linebacker shoulders. So I wanted me a big old booty to go with these shoulders. But anyway, that was my desire. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program. But our desires cause us to act selfishly. And it's a motivation that lies behind every action. And so with that being stated, what happens when we're motivated by our desires and it turns bad? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Can y'all think of that one time? That one time you like, all right, you know what? That's all right. I'm gonna try this just one time. And then you be messed up. You be matized. And y'all already know what the first 4 letters is. Matized. And y'all be whipped. And then, man, y'all be paying rent. Y'all be buying diapers and y'all be paying car notes. And some of us do too.
Don't get
we be cooking meals we ain't never cooked before. But but that desire is the motivation that lies behind every action. It's a power and it's an energy. And like Jay said, it can be a demonic energy. It can be a demonic energy if it's not placed and if it's not done in a spirit of love.
Right.
So, right. And also if it's not received in the spirit of thanksgiving.
Right.
Hands down. So a question came up, and I want to make sure I address this because shout out to Miss Valerie McAllister, whom I love so very much, so very much. And she know why I love her so much. But the question came up when you shared that. Did the audience assume that he was telling you to step down your choices or to step up your choices? He was telling me to step up. He was telling me to step up because he's not my supervisor, but we pretty much know about what one another makes. And he knows that he know what my credentials look like in reference to his. So he know what he makes. So he kind of made an assumption. And his assumption was right. But the reality is that, sadly, I needed to hear it from him because I hear it from my friends all the time. But coming from him, it triggered. And see, that's a whole different conversation because then I got to explain to you what the hierarchy of social status is in these United States of America anyway. And see, Miss Valerie Robinson McAllister knows what my hierarchy of social status, but I'm not going to go there on this live because it's going to go over everybody's head. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick to value and desire. But thank you so much for that question. But yeah, he was telling me to step up my choices. He was definitely telling me to step up my choices because the other part of it is this. I even took it a step further on myself because it could be that some of the individuals that I choose today are in my tax bracket. But are they in my tax bracket because of legitimate means or illegitimate means? But I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that just. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about sexual healing or endless love. And what we're discussing is whether or not you can be valued or desired. Capri, can you think of a time when you have desired something that wasn't good for you? Because we're talking about people desiring us, but can you think of a time when you've desired something that wasn't good for you?
There are a few times. Just being honest. But yeah, let me tell you something. I mean, listen, I'm so transparent. I'm trying to talk with some tact. But at the same time,
this is all things authentic. Now, if we were on Tuesday nights, it's consulting time. That's when we speak with the grace and we enunciate everywhere. But tonight we keep it real and trill.
Okay.
I like her.
Right.
I wish I could cover that wall back there, because I don't want y'all to see all that. Because see, that's the problem. When people see all that, they don't like when I come like this. My relatives and my family know I will call them out in a minute. They don't like when, some of them don't like when I speak like this, because I should not be speaking like that with all of those papers on the wall. I'm sorry, I got myself. I'm back.
You're good. But yeah, like I have made a lot of mistakes based on desire. And initially it was at the hand of my own sanity. Initially, right, when I was younger. And then as I got older and when I had my first child, it was unfortunately at the hands of my children and their comfortability. And the reason why I say that is because I was thinking more about what I wanted. Of course, being, a new mother, not really knowing, still learning, unfortunately, a single mother. So with all of that at hand, I was going more into the things that I wanted because I'm still grown and, I'm working and I'm taking care of my children. So why can't I do what I want to do? But having that mentality put me in a lot of situations that I'm still paying for today. And not in a financial situation, but more so like the decisions that I make now, I have to go into more depth when I'm trying to explain certain things to my children. My children, I still have young children, but they're old enough to know the difference and they know right from wrong. And so they question a lot of people because people have been so inconsistent in our lives. But they've only been inconsistent in our lives because of the choices that I made. So I'm able to take accountability for that now. Initially, of course, I was not, because I had to point the finger at somebody other than me. But the reality was, if the choices weren't made based off of the desires that I wanted at that time back then, then it wouldn't be the cause and effect that it is today.
Wow. I mean, that speaks volumes. I was just sitting here thinking about, I remember being 14 years old, and I remember my dad getting the complete Alzheimer's diagnosis. Now think about it. When I was 14, that was 20 and a half years ago.
Yeah.
So Alzheimer's wasn't advanced like it is now. You couldn't slow the progression, right?
Right.
Y'all, I valued my daddy so much that I desired to take my own life so that he could live. Now listen to what I said. I valued my daddy so much that I desired to take my own life so he could live, right?
Yeah.
So when I think about this concept of whether I want to be valued or desired, it's almost scary, because it's almost like, do I really want to be in a position where I value something to the point where it may cause someone else to desire some harm to themselves because they value me? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, this value and desire, it's like, for me, it's a constant tug of war, because I can remember being a child, because at 14, now these 14-year-olds grown as I don't know what. But at 14 years old, y'all, I'm thinking to myself, yo, my dad is this man of just stellar powers.
Yeah.
But I desire, but that's where it goes to prove that desire is temporary, because I'm still here.
Yeah.
See, desire can turn into value. I went from not valuing my life over my daddy's life to being able to value both of our lives. And because of that, it took me to a position where not only did I grow up faster, but I grew up more mature, right? And my decision-making ability was better. So Capri, what I heard you saying was, I desired some things foolishly, but what I got out of the mistakes that I made was of value and of substance. And I think that's what we need to get the people to understand tonight.
Yeah.
You can have the desires of your heart. And I want y'all to hear me. You can have the desires of your heart, but what you value affects your life, your decisions, and your choices.
Right.
So I'm not saying don't go out here and have fun, but value yourself enough that you take the necessary precautions and preventive measures to protect yourself while you having fun.
Right.
And I mean,
Right.
that's as simple as I can put it. I think that in this 21st century, and we're trying to date, and you got social media, and these chicks out here, they sending their coochie through the DM, and y'all sending y'all whackers through the DM, and y'all, and let me tell you something. I have never seen so many people just quick the message, yo, let's hook up. What? Now, see, back in my day, and y'all know I think I'm about 60, but back in my day, hook up mean, all right, let's hang out. So I always play dumb. Oh, well, where we going?
Right.
We can hook up. Where we going? Because for me, hook up mean, let's go out and hang out. Because, see, I don't speak your language, right? But I don't know. I don't know. But so I think a good note for us to close out on, how is this thing about desire? Because when we talk about dating in the 21st century, we can cut value, because don't nobody value nothing it don't look like but us.
Listen.
And a few other people. So Jay, I defer to you. 21st century dating trends. How does desire impact you? And not really your desires, but other people's desires for you.
I've been through the ringer. That's all I'm gonna say.
Look, got it.
Get real detailed, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I went through something dealing with somebody. I desired them. Desire turned into value, though. Cousin actually met him.
All right now. Huh.
But all I'm gonna say is that it's a value relationship. Let me just say that now.
All right.
But desire played a big part.
Okay.
Consumed me.
Absolutely.
Probably consumed him too. You know, and I'm not gonna say that
you got it right.
we made a lot of the best choices, but God is good. That's the part. That's how I could leave that.
Absolutely.
And that's when at the end of the day, when you go through something, and you say, I want to be valued, just value me. Don't desire, don't want for me. Value me. Because if you get me,
don't want for me, value me.
Don't want for me, value me.
We go pin that. That need to be your status in the morning. Don't want for me, value me. Capri, what about you?
Listen, This just y'all took me to a whole different place. You know, I'm used to just sitting here watching you, and you got me in the mix today.
But you know what? Let me stop you real quick. Guys, listen up. I need to say this. And see, some of y'all don't know me, but the people that's watching that know me know I get emotional. Everybody think I am just so mean and aggressive and just evil. A lot of people think that. But if my brother is out there watching, he would tell you I'm like that when it comes to him. But when anybody else, I love people.
Yeah.
And for the two of you to initiate this based upon something that just struck me when I was having a conversation with my friend's mom, y'all don't know how that felt. Like, I love to have people to dialogue with, because y'all know normally it is just me.
Right.
I love to have people to dialogue with, but what I love is I love people that don't think like me. Because see, that's a problem. If you're the smartest person in the room, something wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
You say a lot about you if every room you sitting in, you the only one that know what's going on. And I had to learn that the hard way. So I love the fact that, Jay, you come in with a very spiritual implication on this topic. Capri, you come in with a very practical implication on this topic. And then we got a male perspective. This is what I call collective impact.
Right.
But see, everybody looking for the individual come up instead of us all coming up together with our individuality. Because see, this is the thing, people. And I need y'all to understand this. Do you realize that if 20 of us carried the same platform, but put our own individual stamps on the same platform, what we could accomplish?
Right. A lot.
Because see, y'all, I'm 34. The average age of the president looked like it's about 55 to 65. Y'all, I got 20 years to tame myself. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
I get exactly what
it is. If we don't start grooming us for office, we're going to continue to be having these conversations about value and desire.
Right.
Because the more we talk about how much we value ourselves, the more we don't take our tails out here and vote. But we are standing in a line for the latest Jordans. Or we are stand outside in the rain for stimulus checks. Or we go to Beautiful on Hull Street because they got a 50% off sale because they lying and telling you that they closing, but they really not closing. They moving next door, but you gonna stand in a line in the middle of a pandemic.
Listen.
But you don't hear me though. So I say that to say, what do you value? What do you value? What do you desire? Because see, it seems to me that our peer group got it twisted. Our peer group values material things, but they desire things that we need to survive. That's crazy to me. So you value things that depreciate and die, but you desire the things that you need, like food, shelter, and clothing? What? You got it all twisted.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Like, y'all, so I really appreciate this. I appreciate this. And this is not the last time that the two of you will sit on this platform, because what I foresee, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there in the atmosphere, these young ladies have their own respective platforms.
Right.
They have an elder who is watching this live, who is the ultimate platform. Hashtag Valerie Robinson McAllister.
Right.
But see, one thing about it, this isn't all about me. I believe in plugging those that are doing some of the same things that I'm doing. Because see, this is what we also have to understand, my people. We have so much of this crab mentality that we cannot accept that there is enough out there for all of us.
So true.
Right.
And you can't do what I do, and I can't do what you do. And a jack of all trades is a master of none. And I'm talking to myself because I had to start, and I'm still streamlining because I'm still all over the place.
Me too.
Value yourself. But even bigger than that, find something bigger than yourself to value. Now, I'm not telling nobody what to believe in, but find something bigger than yourself to value. Because when you build that relationship, then and only then will you value yourself as being in the likeness and in the image that is that you value. Ladies, any final thoughts?
You capped it.
You did. You said everything you needed to say, but no, I definitely appreciate you having us today. It is greatly appreciated. We've already spoke on other terms, and you already know where my head is at with all of that. So I'm all for the collaboration of this. Exactly what this is, ordained and manifested by God. So I'm all with it.
Absolutely. And Miss J, you know what? We're gonna have to reinitiate our Sunday evening prayer calls because it was all up and through there and then corner down there, all up and through there. Guys, this has been wonderful.
Ladies.
This has been wonderful.
Absolutely.
Once again, tonight we talked about when you get that feeling. Do you want sexual healing or do you want endless love? And all of us here chose endless love. Guys, you've been rocking with us tonight, Miss Capri, Miss J, Mr. Dale, on All Things Authentic with your girl, Lillie Mae. Hashtag the brown mermaid from the bottom of the sea. But now I'm here with you and you're here with me. So guys, good night. And we bid you guys speed. Remember, we always connect through joy, rules, and justice. Good night, everybody.
Right. That was deep.